welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have another recipe. This is sort of going to follow on to last week's recipe where we did those pot stickers. This week we are doing some steam buns, frequently called bao. We're going to start by making the dough, and we're also going to do two different fillings, and here's our ingredients. So we're starting off with the flour for the dough, a little bit of sugar, some salt, some baking powder. We're going to use some instant yeast, a little bit of oil, just a neutral oil, some water, and then our fillings are going to use some of these green onions. We've got this nice red curry squash, some garlic, a little bit of cinnamon, some fennel seed, some allspice, and some clove. We're also going to be using some of the pork filling that we made for our dumplings last week. So those pot stickers, we're going to be adjusting the pork filling. So the first thing we're going to do is add a little bit of sugar to the water and get our yeast going. So we're going to pop the yeast in there. And you want to use warm water for this, of course. We're trying to get this yeast to bloom. We're trying to get it to eat that sugar and just make a little bit more yeast and really wake it up so that it's active when we add it to our dough. So into our flour, we're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. We've got our salt, and we have our baking soda. And we just want to combine those. The baking soda is just to make it a little more tender and make sure it has that nice texture that you expect from the steam buns. And we're going to get that well combined and move on to getting our squash ready. So this is a variety of Hubbard squash called red curry, and you can use any kind of squash you like for this. We're just this is one we had on hand, which one we like. It's got a really nice flavor. If you can find this, we do recommend it. It's delicious. First thing we're going to do is cut it in half, and we're going to scoop out all of the innards, of course. We don't want any of those seeds or anything, because what we're going to do with this is we're going to give it a little bit of prep before we get started. We're going to pop this in the oven and roast it until it's good and soft. And then we're going to make that into the filling for one of our two steam buns. So we're just going to poke that with a fork, give it some little texture in there, a little bit of salt and pepper as well. And you want to try and get that on all the surfaces if you can. A little bit of pepper, and just a tiny little bit of oil. We're just going to smear that around on the inside there, make sure that everything's nice and stuck to the flesh of the squash. We're going to put that on parchment paper on a small baking tray, and that's going to go right into the oven. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to our dough. So you can see the yeast has really foamed up in there. It's really happy to go. So we're going to add that to our dry ingredients. And then you just want to give that a stir. We're going to add our oil, just a little tiny bit of our neutral oil, vegetable oils, canola, grapeseed, anything will do for that. And we're going to give that a little stir until it forms basically a single piece, until it becomes the dough that you want it to be. And it's going to sort of all come together at once. We're going to give it a little stir until it comes away from the sides. And then we're going to just give this a good kneading. It does need some gluten structure before we turn this into the steam buns, because it's going to puff up a whole lot when it steams, and we want to make sure it's going to hold its loft when it puffs up. So it needs a little bit of gluten structure in there, so we're going to give it a good kneading. If you feel like it's too wet, you can always add a little extra flour to your board. We did decide we needed to do that. It was really, really sticky, so we added a little extra flour to the board so that we could work it into the dough. And you can see it's starting already to get a little less sticky, and it's starting to get a little more bouncy and springy. So that's great. That means you're starting to build that nice gluten structure in there, and you're getting some nice gluten formation. And if you really want to test it, you can do they call it the window pane test. You can see it springing back a little bit when you squeeze it. So if you can make this dough almost thin enough to see through, it's just about ready. Now this one, we needed it a little bit more after this. It didn't seem to be quite ready. It was tearing a little bit. Not quite enough gluten for us. So we'd give it a few more kneads. Then you want to form it into a ball once it's ready. And then we're going to pop that back into the bowl. We're going to give the inside of the bowl just a little tiny bit of oil so that everything comes away from the side, and a tiny drizzle of oil on top. Give it a gentle little pat. And then you want to cover this, and we're going to set this aside to proof. It's going to roughly double in size. And you can cover it with sort of a damp cloth, clean damp cloth, or a damp kitchen paper or something like that. Now, our squash has been roasting for a little while, and now's the time we're going to add in our garlics, because we want to roast the garlic as well. So we're going to wrap it in foil, pop that onto the baking tray with the squash. Now, this is sort of a flashback to last week's recipe. Here is the pot sticker dumpling filling that we made. And you can see Chef Caleb is dividing that up. And we're going to use half of it in the pot stickers, as you saw last week, and half of it in these steam buns this week. But we're going to add a few things to it. So the first thing we're going to add is a little bit of celery. Again, we want to chop this pretty finely. So it's going to be very, very small pieces of celery. Now, the thing about the steam buns is they can have a little bit more texture than the pot stickers because they're going to be bigger. They're going to have a much thicker shell. So we're going to leave some of the pieces, like those celery pieces were small, but they're bigger than most of the pieces of everything else. Same thing with these shiitake mushrooms we've got. We are going to chop these into small pieces, but not tiny. So they're going to slice them into sticks and then into our dice. We're just going to add that right into our mixture. Now, because these are mushrooms, they're going to shrink down quite a bit when they cook. And they're going to change texture quite a bit. They're also going to take on a lot of flavor from everything around them, of course, as mushrooms frequently do. And just make sure that everything in there is well combined. So we're just going to stir that all up and make sure that it's a good, pretty uniform mix. We just want to make sure everything comes together in there. So time to take a look at our squash. We're going to take that out of the oven. Seeing some liquid in the tray is actually a good sign. Just poke them. If they're really nice and soft to the touch, then they're probably done. Same with the garlic. We're just going to give it a little poke, make sure that it's soft, and we're ready to go. We're going to get our spices together for the squash filling. So the first thing we've got here, we've actually already got a little bit of cinnamon in the bowl, a little bit of allspice, and a little tiny bit of clove. You don't need much. We're not doing a whole lot of squash. It's a pretty small squash. And a little bit of fennel as well. So there's our spices. We're just going to put that in the bowl to wait for the rest of our ingredients. It's very similar to kind of a 5-spice powder. So here's our green onions. This is the same one we used in the pot sticker video. So we're going to use some of it here as well. But we're not going to use it in the pork filling. The garlic, once it has had time to cool a little bit, we're going to cut the top off. And the neat thing about this roasted garlic is if you've done it right, you can just sort of squeeze the individual cloves out and they're just going to pop out just like that. Which is just about perfect. It's really, really nice. It's got that great roasted garlic flavor, and it's nice and soft, so it's going to mix really well in. If you want to make sure it mixes in extremely well, it doesn't hurt to give it a little chop as well. But you can see it's very, very soft. So we're just going to toss that into the bowl. And the next thing we're going to do is our squash. So be careful when you're scooping the flesh out of the squash. They are very soft, and you want to try and avoid getting bits of skin and the hull, like the outside rind, because it's very tough and doesn't taste good, and you don't want to add that in there. So if you see little bits on there, just pull it off, and then take your bits of actual squash, not squash peel, and put it into your bowl. So there you go, there's our combination. We've got the spices, we've got the garlic, that beautiful roasted garlic, we've got the green onions, and that nice roasted squash, the spices at the bottom. And then again, we're just going to mix that together until it makes a pretty uniform mixture. Make sure that spice is sort of well combined all the way through. A little dash of pepper. And a little sprinkle of salt as well. Now, squash is kind of a starchy thing, so it can take a lot of salt. Don't oversalt it, of course, but it can take some salt. Now's a great time to taste it. If it needs any adjustment, now's the time to do it. So you can see here our dough has increased in size a great deal. So what we're going to do, of course, is sort of punch it down, knock some of the air out of it. And this will also help build a little bit extra gluten while we're doing it. You can see a lot of air came out. Because we're not quite done, we're not quite done with this yet. We are going to give it another quick kneading here while we're dividing it up. So this amount of dough we found made 6 steam buns pretty decent sized. So we cut it in half. Half of them are going to be squash, half of them are going to be the pork filling. And you, of course, can divide it up however you like. You can make one filling if you prefer. And then we're just going to divide this into 3. Now, each one of these pieces, what we're going to do is sort of roll it together to make a ball. And we just want to make sure that it's pretty much the right serving size for a single steam bun. It helps to fold everything down from the top down to form a nice smooth ball on top, and then put it seam side down for a little while. It's just going to rest for a little while we do the rest of them, and then we're going to set them aside just for a short period of time to relax. The gluten's going to relax a little bit. It's going to proof a little tiny bit more. Again, we're covering it with a nice, clean, damp cloth, and once it has sat for a little tiny bit of time and risen just a little, we are going to roll these out, and they are ready to fill. So you don't have to use a rolling pin for this. You can just push it out with your hands. You can use a bottle. We're just going to give it a quick little push with the rolling pin to spread it out. And then we're going to start using our filling. So this one is going to be the squash filling. And again, like with the dumplings, you don't want to overfill these, but you do want to make sure that they're interesting and flavorful. So be generous, but don't overdo it, because it is possible to overdo it. Much like the pot stickers from last week, if you gather it up and sort of fold it together like that, you can make an interesting little shape on the top, give it a little twist. Now, of course, we're not experts at this. If you go to a dim sum restaurant, you're going to see that really perfect, beautiful twist. That just comes with practice. And then we're going to pop each one of these onto an individual piece of parchment that we're going to put into the steamer a little bit later. The other one we have, of course, is our pork filling with the shiitake mushrooms and the celery. And just to make them visually different, we're going to put these ones seam side down so that they're nice and smooth on top, and then the squash ones have the little seam on top, so it's really obvious at a glance which ones are which. Now, they have slightly different cooking times from each other, so if you're doing 2 different kinds and you only have one steamer, we do recommend that you do one at a time. So we're going to do the pork ones first. And we're just popping these onto a steamer, and it's on top of a tray in the pot with the boiling water below, just to give it a little bit of space. And you can see once they're done, they really puff up a lot. That bread cooks, the dough outside of them cooks really, really nicely. You get that great texture on the outside, and super fluffy and puffed up inside. That's what they look like when they come out. If you've done everything right, they're going to get that nice puffy look. These are the squash ones. You can see that little texture on top from the seam. Now, the temptation is to eat these hot. Hot is good. Right out of the steamer, not so good. They are going to be extremely hot. So give them a little bit of time to cool down, and then you can give them a test. So we cut one open here. You can see how that dough has risen. It's really fluffed up. Got that great texture and that beautiful squash filling with all those beautiful flavors in there, the garlic and the spices. And we're going to give that a little dip in soy sauce, or whatever kind of dipping sauce you like. You can use the one we recommended on the pot stickers last week. And that's it. It's a little bit of extra work for this one because you are making a leavened bread, which does need to sit for a little while. It does need to rest. It does need to rise and proof and all those things. But really, really delicious for make it yourself at home dim sum. So if you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.